When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
If everything's ready here on the dark side of the moon, play the 5 tones.
Oh boy, I don't know about you, but the humans sounded very friendly there. The aliens, not so much. That's the contact scene from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the classic film from 1977. Scientists say that we are extremely unprepared for when aliens eventually decide to make contact. But one team of scientists is determined to change that in the first new official alien contact protocol in 35 years. The team will focus beyond the impact that this contact will have on humanity, and instead, they will focus on how we should respond. Let's go to John Elliott, a computer scientist at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, and he's the coordinator of the university's newly established SETI Detection Hub, the cross-disciplinary organization that will establish the new alien contact protocol. John, welcome to the show.
Hello there.
For someone like me that loves sci-fi and loves the notion of making contact with aliens, I'm very interested, John. John, why don't you tell me about the challenges you and your team have ahead of you?
The challenges are vast because if you think about it, we're dealing with the unknown. We can base some of our assumptions on things we know here and extrapolate from that some models, but it's even a point where we don't know what we don't know. And so the task is vast, and it's probably one of the greatest multidisciplinary endeavours for science that we'll ever undertake, because we're trying to bring all the different disciplines together that would deal with the humanities, the analytics, all these things that if we have some sort of confirmed contacts, like a message from a distant planet, whether we intercept it or it's even on purpose. There's loads of different scenarios, but if this happens, then like a pandemic, we need to be prepared. So we need to have things in place so as we got some chance at least of addressing and understanding what we've just received, or what we're dealing with. And of course, you think about it, the world will be holding their breath after any announcement, because one tenet about this, that for SETI itself, is that we're transparent. We let everybody know. Once we've made sure that this is for real, then we're going to say we've got something. Mm-hmm. And then we say, all right, we maybe not know what it is exactly yet, but then we're going to start telling people as much as we know, as soon as we know it.
And John, you mentioned the unknown, you mentioned the different scenarios, right? So is it more, instead of like maybe we should be thinking about this not as like a single protocol, but more of a handbook on how to deal with various scenarios?
Exactly, yes. Because on one end of the scale, we could tomorrow find microbes on Mars. Now that would be really interesting, and it would be profound in the sense that there'd be some evidence of evolution, that it wasn't our own, separate completely. And of course, the other end of the scale, you alluded to in your intro, that the most unlikely scenario of them all is that they come here because of the vast distances involved. I mean, I don't know if you sort of realise how big even our own galaxy is.
Yeah.
It's 100,000 light years across, 1,000 light years deep. In mileage, it was something like, in rough terms, 600,000 trillion miles if you were going to get in your car and go to the other side.
Yeah, and
it's absolutely vast. So, it's also in time as well. We may get a signal and the sender is already extinct, because if it was 1,000 light years away, which is easily possible, of course, with the distances we're talking about, they may have come and gone already.
Mm-hmm.
But the probability of other life being out there, I think, is pretty good. With something like 300 billion stars in our own galaxy, and we're looking like we're finding a planet around, at least on average, every star or more, you can imagine that we're talking huge numbers of potential planets holding life.
And we're with John Elliott, a computer scientist at University of St. Andrews in Scotland, is the coordinator of the university's newly established SETI Detection Hub, and we're talking about a possible first contact and a protocol when we do reach out to aliens. So, John, let me ask you this, right? Because you mentioned space is vast. The likelihood of meeting aliens face to face, very, 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 very low. But I would also imagine, because space is vast and we're talking maybe about signals here, are the stakes lower than we imagine? Could we possibly do something wrong if they're so far away, and any signal that we want to send out would take a lot of time as well?
Well, yeah, 1 light year, that's the speed of light is radio. So in that case, you sort of, if it's 1,000 light years away, it would take 1,000 years to get there. As far as we know, I mean, we learn more about the laws of physics, etc., year in, year out. So we have to keep an open mind of what's possible, of course. But as we know it, then that's one of the big constraints, is how long it would take. One end of the scale, again, we've got our nearest neighbourhood star that's not our sun is only 4.5 light years away. So we have got some possibilities in our own neighbourhood. It's so many unknowns in the sense of how possible it is to deal with a signal and when we get it. Because even then, sorry, go on.
No, John, just, before I have to let you go here, I would just love to know about the task that you have at hand here. Like, tell me about the team that you're going to be working with to come up with a protocol.
Yeah, well, bringing together people from all around. It's an international endeavor, so we're bringing people from around the world with the expertise in all these different disciplines to bring our minds together to create a framework for the science, for the analytics, for the protocols. So we deal with these different scenarios if and when we get them.
John,
so this is quite an undertaking.
It sounds like an honor, and it sounds like it would be tremendously fascinating to tackle something like that. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
That's John Elliott, coordinator of the University of St. Andrews' new SETI Detection Hub. They're going to establish a new alien contact protocol.